Hello, hello, everyone. My name is Emily Steele, and this is our brand new series. So, you want to start a name the business of your choice. So, today, our very first guest, Mary Lewellin, is here with us, and she owns a company called Red Dragon Herbs. It is an herbal loose leaf tea company, and she's been doing this for 6 years. So, she has some wisdom, some expertise. She's learned some things along the way. And so, we're just going to go through 5 questions together. Maybe a couple of others will sprinkle in there, but we're going to give you the tips, the tools, the knowledge, kind of the behind the scenes of what Mary has learned on her journey. So if you've been thinking about starting a food or beverage type of business, Mary has some insight for you today. So welcome, Mary.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yes. So tell us about your company, when you got started, and why you got started.
All right, so my husband and I started Red Dragon Herbs and Teas about 6 years ago. This is our 6th year of business. He has done a lot of traveling. He was in the Marines, and he experienced a lot of tea culture as he traveled. And then we grew a lot of herbs and different things in our backyard. And we thought to ourselves, like, how cool could we take what we're doing at home and share it with the community, and at the same time give us the opportunity for me to be a stay-at-home mom, plus the freedom and flexibility of just everyday life, trying to take care of things and kids and everything.
Oh my gosh, so cool. So you're packaging this tea and you're starting to sell it to the community. Are you doing it through like farmers markets, or how are you doing
Yep.
that?
So what we do is we make about 80 to 90% of everything that we sell at the farmers market or online or in retail locations. So 6 years ago, we decided to apply for the downtown farmers market. And we weren't kind of sure what we were going to expect. We had heard from people that it sometimes takes, a few times to apply before they maybe even accept you. But we went for it. So we weren't really quite ready, but we were just like, now is the chance. It's the season. And they offered us a little over half of the dates that they have farmers market. And so we just dove right in. And that was kind of where we founded the business, where we were thinking that's all we would do with it. We would just have a farmers market business.
Mhm. And you've really spread your wings with other channels of revenue and like how the consumer gets the product. So that is so cool. So do you
Yes.
remember as you were getting started, like one of your like early wins was as you were kind of getting the ball rolling, if you will?
It was definitely that farmers market scenario. So, I mean, just thinking that like they're probably not going to accept us, like, okay, maybe we'll do it next year instead. We just had a lot of doubt. And when we got that email saying, like, here's the dates that we're offering you, we were just like, whoa, like, this is super exciting. We're doing this. Like, they gave us over half the dates. Like, so yeah, that was a really big and exciting win for us. And we just quickly got it together.
Yeah. You only have a choice. You're like, okay, like we're gonna do this. Was there a lot of like, well, we have to figure out labels and packaging, or had you already gotten to that point?
Honestly, like I can't remember if we had already done that or if we applied and then we had to get it together.
Yeah.
But it's funny because every now and then photos will come up of like we had just bought some labels and at the FedEx store, and we just it's kind of funny to see the photos of like what we started with to like kind of what we have now.
I love that because I think so many people think you have to be like perfect out of the gate. And I love that example because I think someone who's like curious about starting something like this, hearing that is helpful. Because, like, of course, would it feel amazing to invest thousands of dollars and have this perfect brand and all of your ideal packaging? Yeah. But, like, guess what? The reality is a lot of people don't have that option. And so,
Yes.
scrappy, I think, is that's how I do it too. I'm like, let's be as scrappy as possible and like see what happens. So, I love
Yeah.
that. What would you say has been one of the biggest challenges you've been on this endeavor?
So I really thought a lot about this. So we, at first, when we applied for the farmers market, they require insurance.
Okay.
And a lot of places do. And honestly, to keep your business safe and your customers safe and everything safe about it, we had to find insurance. And the insurance companies didn't quite understand what we were doing. They like thought that people were like eating herbs, or they weren't quite sure. So we got really lucky with a friend of mine in the community that she took the time to really research it and then explain it to the insurance company, and then be able to get us that coverage that provided us, the safety if our tent blew over and hit another person's tent at farmers market. Just the things that could happen. Yeah. So that was a big hurdle for us. And then another thing is balancing, your relationship with your husband and your family, and making sure that those are healthy at the same time running a business. So that is one of our big hurdles on what's your job, what's my job, and then how can we interact with each other?
Yeah, because you've been doing this with Ryan, is that?
Yeah, with Ryan. Yeah.
Since the beginning. So you've had to navigate a lot of the ins and outs of doing it as a duo. So do you have any words of advice from that?
For us, I think it was definitely like, these are your tasks and the things you're good at, and these are the things that I'm good at, and making sure that we are communicating with each other on like, hey, I'm having a hard time, or he's always saying, what can I do for you? Which is awesome, but it makes a difference having that communication between each other.
Communication is key in literally every relationship, period, especially a business partner and a life partner.
Yeah, totally. 100%.
Yeah. So that kind of leads to the next question. Maybe this is part of the answer too, but if you had for someone who's I'm super curious, I think I want to get started tomorrow, and I want to do something similar to you, or maybe in the food space, and I dream about being in the farmer's market. This is a bucket list, all these things considered. What are 3 pieces of advice you would give someone?
So one thing that I think is big is just, you can think about it for a long time of what you want to do. And you can really think out this is my 5-year and 10-year plan. This is what I want to do. And we didn't really have that. We just were let's just do this. And sometimes if you wait around and you don't just do it, then it just may float away, or it might just be another idea. So my first word of advice is just go for it. You'll be able to tackle those things that come up. You'll be able to learn from other people in the community as you meet them. And people are really encouraging and uplifting on hey, have you tried this market? Hey, have you talked to this person about this? So just doing it would be my first advice. A second one would be, we really try to keep things within reason financially. And starting a business, you can invest a lot into it. You can get loans for it. But at the same time, you don't have to. You can provide a really great product to a customer that's a classy looking product by DIYing it. You can start with something, and as you make that income, you can make it better and prettier, and the package can change, the label can change. You can start to invest in more of your business as the money comes in. But trying to keep your finances reasonable and try not to spend money on things that you can't afford.
Yep.
Would be another one. And then another thing is, I think as entrepreneurs, we just get really excited about our dreams. And so sometimes our dream is so big that it's hard to see the little things inside of it. So we try to have this big list of dreams and goals, but at the same time, it's the little wins that get us to the big win. So if we can try to keep within reason where our dreams are, then you can get to your big dreams. So dream big, but dream small at the same time.
See all the steps that get you there, the milestones, right? Oh, I love that. Those are just beautiful pieces of advice. I feel you can take them no matter what kind of business you're starting too. I think they speak broadly to anyone in this space. So where's your business heading? Speaking of those big dreams, where are you going to be in the next year, 5 years, 10 years?
So we have a few things in mind, but, and it's those big dreams, Yeah. So one thing that we have is we currently have our tea in about 35 retail locations in and around Iowa, which is really amazing. And I'm really, really grateful for that. And a lot of it's word of mouth, or somebody will find us at farmers market and want our products in their store. But it's been really nice to have the products in front of customers where they're able to see and touch it. And I think that makes a big difference on kind of the way they purchase the items. So, we're lucky to have an online purchasing option, but I would like to expand our retail locations outside of Iowa. We ship product all around the country, and that's really awesome. But to have that kind of more personal connection, even if it's not me selling the product, there's a person in the store that's building a relationship with that customer. They're able to kind of see the product in the bag. They're able to smell the product. We have little sample jars. So you're able to smell it. And I send those out to all of our retail locations, hoping that they have the option to really get their hands on it. And they're probably more likely going to take it home.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. If you smell that, you're like, oh.
I need you. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So we're excited about that. We really want the relationships with our customers. So we can still have that online, but it's just not the same. So hopefully expanding ourselves retail-wise can help us also.
That's so exciting. Amazing. Anything else you want to share with listeners as they're thinking about starting their own type of business that would keep them going or motivated?
Just keep your head up, because it can be really hard. I think there is a really great community of entrepreneurs, female and male, and we, I think, are building this empire together, and if we can try to keep those relationships strong, a lot of times word of mouth is how we continue to grow. And I may say, hey, I know a friend that does this, and that would be really awesome in your store. And boom, another relationship was made. So as long as we can stay strong together, that's important.
I love it. Yeah, we are better together. I love the phrase, like, when the tide rises, all ships sail. So how do we make the tide rise together so we can all win? So I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for being on this little series, doing this interview. Where can people find you if they want to shop, if they want to get to know you more? Tell me all the things.
Okay, so they can find us on Instagram and Facebook, always. And then reddragonherbs.net is our online platform. And then on our webpage, if you scroll to the bottom, there's a little link that you can click. And most, if not all, of our retail locations will pop up on that page. So I try to update them as we go along. Some people don't always have like an online platform, but it at least gives you their address and a way to contact them to be able to find our products. And you can always, shoot us a message or send us an email, and we can help you find what you're looking for.
Love it. Thank you so much for being on this interview today, Mary.
Thank you so much for having me, Emily.